Okay, welcome back. Now I'm going to do what I've kind of been dreading all winter. I got to clean these hatch, locker lids, couple hatches, clean them up, patch them, paint them. I got to get all this old crap off, so here I go. The fun continues. And this is the, I think it's called the storm cover, I'm not sure, for the main hatch, the sliding hatch. Obviously upside down, but just trying to get all this gack off. So far I've got the two side locker, or the two cockpit locker covers, the front hatch, and this is the sliding hatch. Basically I just got all of the adhesive goop that's still stuck from different weather stripping, and then just cleaned, really wiped down really well. Not the acetone, what did I use? E-wax or surface prep, clean E-wax. So this is the last piece I got, and keep at it. Hour and a half later. I have washed all of the parts. The two locker covers from the cockpit are in good enough shape. I'm not going to bother doing any kind of patches, so they're washed. I just have to do some sanding. This is the storm cover for the main cabin hatch, and it has some damage here. I'm going to fill in a little bit, as well as a little bit underneath. And then this is the forward hatch. It's got a little bit of damage right here and a little bit right there, so I'm going to put some thickened epoxy in those. This is the main cabin hatch here. It's upside down. This is where the sliders run. Sliders run up along here, along here. This is what it looks like. Oh, this one's a little better. This is where the top of the clip that clips onto the track, and on this side that clip, or that piece, is broken off. So what I did, I took a paint stick, stir stick, cut it in half, or snapped it in half, put it inside some plastic, got it pounded in there, or clamped in there. I'll fill that in, and you can re-drill it with thickened epoxy. And then there's also this damage along here that I cleaned out as best I could, and we'll just fill that in a little bit right there. So that's all I really have to do. This is not going to be a, I'm not going for perfection, I'm going for solid. So here we go. Well, let's see how we did here. Cut that off. Looks good. Should be good. All right, and I did go around. I filled in a bunch of other stuff, things I forgot about. One of the things I did, I put tape on the back here. And I filled in all the holes where the latch from the two cockpit locker lids are. Now the way this is set, when the lid closes, there's a piece that flips down and hooks to where you can lock it. Now, I was watching one show, sailing vessel Tritea there. He's got an Alberg 30, and he's, that's Sailor James, his name is. He's a small enough guy, he can actually get into his locker. I don't have that problem. 6'1", 200 plus. I'm not fitting in there, but he got in there. It fell closed, and the latch snapped shut, and he couldn't get out. He had to call for help. So I'm going to do it so that you got to lift it up and lock it in. That way, if some strange reason somebody's in there in the future. So I don't know if the holes lined up. I just filled them in and I can start fresh. And we are ready to start sanding. Got my Bluetooth headphones for some music. Shop vac connected to the sander. Respiratory protection. Laid out here too. Last piece up here. Here goes the fun part. Okay, we are all sanded down on our respective tables. Still got to wipe it down with acetone, get all the dust off, and then I am all good to go with perfection. I'm going to use the West System roller and hope for the best. Alright, I got the top of the hatches done. 3 coats of Perfection 2-part polyurethane paint from Interlux. Now I'm going to get to the bottom. This is the hood that the hatch slides on. This is the only part that's visible. That part's made at 47 years without any paint, so I'm not going to worry about that. Going to do the undersides of these are the cockpit locker lids. So, and then this is the front hatch. I have that piece of acrylic to put on there. Still got to buy the hardware for it, but do the inside of this one with the 2-part. On the inside, it's this Perfection 2-part Mediterranean white. That's what they had in stock when I painted the top sides of the boat, or the deck and cabin of the boat. Now, the underside of the main sliding hatch had paint on it already. I sanded it down as best I could. I didn't go crazy. I didn't need to get all of it off because I'm not going to bother using the 2-part. I'm assuming this is not a 2-part paint because it chipped right off of there really easy. Or it just wasn't put on very well. But regardless, I'm painting the inside of the boat with the 1-part bright side. So I'm just going to use that paint for the top of the inside of the sliding hatch. So here we go. Round 2. And first coat on. And ventilation. If you're going to do this indoors, make sure you got both a fan and a mask. So this was what the top of the front hatch looked like. That was what part that let the light through, supposedly. Did not like the look of that. So this is my fix. This is the original hatch. And I'm hoping that does it. I got some butyl tape. And didn't crank it down. I didn't want to squeeze all the butyl tape out. I almost put spacers in. I almost put some washers in between to make sure I didn't squeeze it out enough. But the butyl tape is pretty heavy duty stuff, so don't think I need it. I had a little bit of squeeze out. I cut some out, but it was just a tiny bit, and I didn't crank it down super hard. I was going to let it sit the way it is, let the butyl tape relax a bit overnight or something. I'll tighten it up just a little bit, keep it snug, but I think it came out pretty good. All prepped for the next step, which, if you can't guess, will be KiwiGrip. Got to sand down. First step, sand this down just a little bit, scuff up the surface, and roll it up. All right, we've got the first try here. Did it on the scoop. I left this one fairly aggressive. This is going to be on the top of the boat, on the top of that scoop. So if anybody's ever standing up there, you need some grip. So let's see how well this works. nice edge. All right, I need 2 hands, so I'll show you the end result. And done. I think it looks all right. This is about as thick as I would want it anywhere on the boat. Now I'm going to do the opposite for the cockpit hatch covers, which are basically the seats. So I got to try to make this a little less aggressive. Okay, we got the hatch covers, or the locker lids, and that's not too aggressive. I mean, it still needs to be aggressive enough because these are the main stepping points down into the cockpit when you're getting onto the boat, so it needs something there. But it doesn't need to be as aggressive as this. So I figure I'll give this a try, see what it's like after. And if it's got too many sharp points, I can just take a, go over it real lightly with some sandpaper, knock off some sharp points. And I expect we'll have some seat covers to sit normally anyway. Last one, the actual sliding hatch. And last but not least, the main companionway hatch. I am very happy with how this is turning out. The KiwiGrip, I mean, it's prep, and then pulling the tape actually takes more time than rolling this stuff out. It's really user-friendly, and it's not too big a deal to get the amount you want. My best advice would be don't put too much on at first, because that's what I know I did over here. I put too much on over here. This is thicker than it should be, but I didn't. This was my first test. But that's okay. I knew I had to cover up some non-skid that was there, but I probably could have used a little less. So I just metered out how much I wanted to get the amount I want. You can always add more while you're rolling. So that's the biggest tip I would have. That and prep work. And I've seen other people online on YouTube, and I don't know that they know. They'll paint, like this is my Interlux Perfection 2-part poly, and then they'll leave the rest of this raw fiberglass, and then they think, oh, I'm going to cover it with the KiwiGrip. Well, the KiwiGrip is not a barrier coat. It's not meant for that. It's just meant for the non-skid. Moisture and crap can still get through there, so you got to make sure you put whatever your seal is over the whole thing. Scuff it the way they say. Like I used 120 grit, and then you can roll it out. So I'm happy with how this is turning out. Next step is well, obviously let it dry, but pull out the hardware. And it is spring. It's the middle of April right now. I'm finally able to possibly get out there and put the hardware on this and reinstall them. Okay, I wanted to do a quick update. I got on YouTube and I found somebody that said that the hex style dies were not really meant for cutting. They're good for cleaning up threads, but they're not meant for actually cutting new threads on a bar, on a rod. They say you gotta get the round style. So $20 later, I got a round style, and it's cutting through absolutely no problem. I really, honestly, I can't believe the difference between this and this isn't a cheap set. This was a halfway decent, I think it's Husky brand, but there must be some truth to that. The hex style doesn't thread rod as well as the round style. So there you go, lesson learned.